across the hallway.
You're live.
This is why I like it.
And we're live. Hey guys, from home and here on the stage. My name is Fernando Martinez, and this is Daniel. Hey, I get to say that. You're Dave today. Yeah, look at that. You're the Dave. And today we're doing Dialogue Day for people. This technically going to be the last OnSet dialogue.
At least this year.
At least this year. For sure the last dialogue this year, and we might move it, and Dave and I, Dave Brusca, who usually we do this with, he's not here today, he had jury duty. We might be moving it, and it might be just like him and I, and maybe hopefully we can have Daniel on the days he happens to be here. And it's going to be like a different thing. Daniel's was graceful enough to help it grow, and now might move it into its own thing, but we'll see about that next year. In the meantime, we're going to teach you how to shoot basic dialogue. Today we are going to be featuring a couple of lights. Peter, who is here from Aperture, is lending us the Aperture 120D and the 300D, which are constant LED lights. That's the ones we're going to be playing with today. And we're going to be shooting a couple of scenes. The first scene we're going to be shooting is the one we are doing on YouTube, and then at 3 p.m. we're going live on Facebook. We're going to shoot another scene from The Lovelies, played by our friend here, Analisa Velez. This is Analisa. Say hi.
Hi, how are you?
And with her is John Pierre.
Hello.
Also, great actors, great New York actors. Pierre John? I'm sorry. John Pierre's just like...
I know.
Okay, you get that a lot.
I get it a lot.
Pierre John, guys. So hopefully you are entertained. Hopefully you learned a little something, and we're going to be doing a little bit of here. Danny, you want to start talking about the audio or the lighting? What do you think?
Do audio first.
Okay, let's do audio.
Stuff for you.
So normally on you're going to try to get as much and as good audio as you can, right? So ideally, on an ideal situation, you're going to try to get every actor lobbed up with a lavalier set, which is what we got here. Oh, I have to keep Seth on his toes. Which is your microphone right here, and this happens to be a wireless pack. It doesn't have to be wireless per se. You just run, if you can like hide it well enough, directly to your camera where it's going to be, but we're doing wireless today. And ideally, you always want to have a lavalier on each actor, and if you can, a boom. You know, a shotgun microphone on a boom, catching each one. And obviously, your sound technician or boom operator needs to be on script with them, so they know who to switch, whose ever line it is, and that way they catch their best audio. Now, a combination of the lavaliers from each actor and the boom will give you a more robust sound. You know, like something that's, you know, you get some highs, you get some lows. It fills up from an audio perspective a little better. So you always want to try to aim to do that. That said, we're not doing that today.
That's right.
Yes.
So actually, since this is the last one we're doing this year of this particular format, and we're getting ready for next year for all the different stuff that we do, make sure that, especially if you're online or if you guys are here, you can talk to us after. Let us know what you want to see more or less of in this particular event that we run, quarterly. If you want to know more audio, because we usually just do it really briefly. But if you want something more complex about audio, let us know that, or any of the stuff that we're doing. If it's like, hey, that was fine, but more of this, let's get some comments going.
Yeah, let us know.
On that, either local or online, if you guys watching.
Right. So this is, how did you get this?
What's that?
No.
I didn't cut it well.
It's fine.
All right.
So, so one of the main things is, let's just say you're shooting an interview for somebody. It's fine if you see, you know, lavalier, kind of like what I have it right here. It's fine if you see it like, you know, on it with a clip, or you're not trying to break that illusion in a narrative situation in a film. You want to break that. You want to hide that. There's no microphones, you know, like everything is happening right in front of you. One of the ways that we like to, and there's like professional versions of this, but one of the ways we like to do it is using what they call moleskin, which originally it's supposed to be like for feet calluses and like cuts and stuff, you put it on your feet or you put it on your skin, and it like protects that area. That's all it is at the end of the day. So what we like to do, and I think I have it over here, this guy, as you guys can see, you can buy it at any pharmacy, like right outside. It's happened a lot where we forget it and we literally run to the local pharmacy and go buy one of these. They're really cheap, but really useful. So what we do is we cut 2 small pieces of it, as you see here. And let me start working through it.
What brand lab?
What brand lab? Oh, for this shoot, we're using the Sennheiser's AVX system, which we find really, really convenient. They connect almost automatically. We have used these in convention settings and stuff, and they are really reliable. No signal interference. We're pretty happy with this particular lab setup. And let me just show you right here. This is the receiver. It's tiny. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot the audience. This is the receiver. It's really, really small and goes directly into your XLR input on your camera, or you can have an adapter to like if you're going to put it like on a DSLR or a mirrorless, you can put an adapter XLR to quarter 20 and like 3.5, sorry, and that will work perfectly well. Right now, we just have it directly on the camera. Doesn't use a lot of space. It's right there, perfectly fine. Back to the moleskin.
Currently have no audio. So.
Okay. Back to the moleskin. So again, what you do is you get both pieces of moleskin, like we had. You're gonna put the felt part on one, sticky on the thing, and then you're gonna sandwich it. So the sticky part is on one. This is where you're gonna put inside your shirt, right here in the thorax area. We always change the solar plex area. You're gonna hide it inside their shirt. That's gonna be your goal. So this particular microphone has the actual mic part on the top, so I can sandwich it all the way in. Some of your microphones, depending on what you have, obviously you're gonna try to aim for something like this if you're buying, but if you have something that's a little bit more omni or the actual microphone is like on the side, you just need to make sure it's like out of the sandwiched area so it catches all the audio it can. But this one's how we're working today. So now we're gonna put this one, I'm just gonna make sure it's on Pierre Jean. Now, I see that Pierre Jean has a little bit of chest hair, so you just gotta be careful either to make sure that's not gonna interfere with how sticky the moleskin is, or you can go backwards and put it on the shirt and put the sticky part on the shirt so it doesn't, so it actually like adheres to something. Man?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can, somewhere around there.
Okay, so I'm going to try to talk now, even though it seems like I don't have any audio online. So I'm going to mime at the same time.
Yeah.
So you could be like, hey, I'm miming. I'm loud. You can hear me here, right? Yeah, but nothing online. So that means I can say bad stuff about the online people, but only good stuff about here.
Good.
Right? That's what we've got to do. They're missing out, right? That's okay. Fernando's got a lot to say.
What?
They can only hear me here.
Ah, they can't hear you on.
Can you hear me now? No. That's actually the reality of that cell phone. Oh, I'm up. Okay. Woo.
Awesome.
I know. All right. So it looks like I'm back up, so I can now have jibba jabba.
Sure. What do you want to jibba jabba about?
Oh, okay. We're having some technical difficulties here. It's the end of the year. That happens. Gremlins and all that.
Just for a renovation too.
Yeah, we're going to renovate. Actually, if you guys don't know, by Seth is spearheading a renovation of this area. So anybody that's here is going to really see all kinds of cool new stuff. It's going to look much better. And online, it'll probably be the same. So at least you won't have audio gone.
Hopefully not.
So, but you had Fernando's audio the whole time, right? So everybody heard all that online. So he's labbed up. Pierre's labbed up, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so all right. So the scene actually, whenever we do these things, the first time we ever did this, we tried to kind of create the scene as much as possible, but we realized that in a retail store, in this space that we have and with the facility that we have set up for us, we couldn't necessarily always replicate it exactly. And you may find that too. If you're a filmmaker, you might find a cool script and you might want to make a scene. You don't have access to everything. So you have to kind of learn to work with what you got. So in this case, this actually scene takes place in the hallway of an apartment building, I think. Do you know what scene it is? I hope so, because they're going to have to, she knows. Yeah. It's a good thing she knows what scene it is, but
she wrote it.
Because she wrote it, yeah. But here we're gonna kind of get the general vibe of that without obviously being in a hallway. So we're just using a plain background. If you were trying to make it like better and you didn't have a lot of space, a hallway is an easy thing to replicate because you can basically just get some cheap wallpaper or get some board from Home Depot and throw it up. We're just using a roll of paper here just to keep it simple. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of light it the way that lights are in a hallway, but better, right? Because you want it to feel kind of real, but you don't want it to look terrible because lights in the hallway are pretty terrible. At least we don't want it for this scene because it's a little bit light. You have to think about that. Light has character, right? So light and feeling, I should say, right? So this is somewhat light. Yeah, see, I used light a lot. I do that a lot, so I use the same word repeatedly. So this is not like this very sad or very moody or very hostile scene. In that case, you might go really shadowy. We want to be able to see their faces a bit, even though a hallway is generally going to be lit from the top. So we are lighting it from the top, but what we've done is we've set up just a 4 foot by 6 foot silk, which is a scrim gem. It has a 3/4 stop silk on it. And what we're doing here is we're going to shoot 3 lights through the top of it. Because in a hallway, you usually don't just have one light, right? You've got lights coming from different things, but we don't want it to be super moody. So this is going to kind of even it out, but allow us to have different sources. But the key light, the main light that's going to be on their face is actually, we actually went a step further and put it inside this
light dome.
Light dome, they call it, but it's a softbox basically, from Aperture. And essentially, we're letting this light that's falling on them be a little bit creamier because we've got extra diffusion. And we're actually, you can see, we're tipping it slightly to the front to cheat a little bit more light in their face. So that's kind of what we got going on here. We'll adjust it as we go, but we're also going to play around a little bit with color temperature. The idea is that you're about to get in your apartment, so we're actually going to go a little bit warmer on this side, like maybe inside your apartment you got some warmer light than you would, let's say, in a hallway. And since we're using mostly LED lights, these Aperture lights are LEDs, we're going to be able to make the color temperature of these neutral, like we'll probably, and then we'll in a cooler way, then we'll probably go daylight. We'll try it. We'll mess around a little bit.
We'll mess around.
We might go daylight with them. We might go like a little bit warmer than that. But in any case, they're going to be a little bit cooler than the light that's coming from her apartment, and the light on them is going to be relatively neutral, right? You might want to. We're not going to do this because I feel like I never like putting green on anybody, but sometimes if you want to play off like it's an old building, it's whatever, you could add some gels even to the light to make them a little bit, not feel so perfect. Does this have a, no? Does it have, Peter's here, by the way, for Aperture, so I'm going to ask him all the technical stuff. This doesn't have a green adjuster. No, it's just daylight tungsten, yeah. Yeah, so you could add either a plus green, like a quarter plus green if you want to make it a little dirtier, or that's something that you could tweak out in your color correction later.
Yes.
Sometimes you want to shoot it as flat as possible and then deal with that in post-production.
Another thing to mention too is that right now we're on what is essentially a stage for you guys.
We are on stage.
You can still pull this type of lighting in an actual hallway, obviously if there's space enough, but you could still set a silk to make soft, to just exactly like we're doing here, like a silk on top and then throw lighting on it to replicate, like again, that type of lighting, but with your control. You're not depending on just what's there, unless you really want that, rough and, gritty thing. But if maybe you're shooting like a romantic comedy and that's not going to work for that. So like if you eliminate the lights on a space and you replace it with your lights, you have control over those lights. And you can't always, especially like you said in old buildings, they're like fixtures that are in the building. You can't like just replace them. The best you can do sometimes is block them and then put your own light to it.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't say to do this, but I've definitely been in buildings and unhooked fluorescent lights. But don't do that. But yeah, you might want to eliminate light in the space. I don't recommend. I mean, I get the like gritty feel. I want that. Just use the lights in the space. I don't recommend that because then you don't have consistent control. That's one of the problems with just doing run and gun if you're doing something narrative. Let's say that we shot this scene and something went wrong later and we needed to reshoot it. If we just worked with the fluorescents that were, let's say, in the space, they're probably not going to look exactly the same the next time we come back. And we're not going to have a way to know, oh, that one was 4 years old and the super changed this one last week. So that's why you want to do that. Even if you work with their fixtures, you might even take the bulbs out and put all fresh bulbs in just so that you have control. Control is essential in a narrative because you may have to shoot it again. That's one of the big Difference between this and let's say a documentary where you're just kind of shooting it and you might not go back. Doesn't even matter if it matches. You go back a week later, it looks different. That's fine. That's the way it looks. We're trying to mix this into, we want to redo her close up. Let's say, we need to match that light. So that's why bringing your own lights in really makes a big difference.
Yeah, and ideally, you're going to want to write down all the information. Not only all the light ratios in terms of like power and like precision and everything, and if you have like a plan of your lighting setup, but even a distance camera from the floor, camera from the actors, what millimeter, what white balance you were in, all your settings. Again, on an ideal set, you want to have all that information because, especially on a paid gig, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, because if your client is like, well, we need to reshoot this angle.
Right.
If you don't have those information, either you have to reshoot the whole thing, or it might not match.
Right.
And it might be okay for you, but it might not be okay for your client. Like,
especially if they're cutting it together.
Yes.
That's really the thing, right?
Yeah.
You've got to cut it together. You got to make sure.
So you got to keep all those things in mind.
Yeah. So that's important. So should we light it up and then do the camera? That makes sense since we're already halfway there.
Sure.
So we're going to, like I said, we've got two of the lights in place. We have an area Fernado, which you probably can't see, but it's back there.
So 300 Fernado.
Fernado, we use those a lot. That's our tungsten light. Now you can change the power on it by adding scrims or even a dimmer, which will mess with the color temperature. But since we have the LEDs that are super flexible, we're just going to leave that one the way it is, and then we're going to work around it. It just makes our life easier. This is a 360. 300.
It's a 300D.
300D.
What's the,
aperture.
do we know the power on that, Peter?
Yes.
Is equivalent to a 2,000 watt.
Right, so it's pretty bright.
And right now we're at like 35%.
This one goes to 11. So yeah, so you can see you can dial it up and down in power.
Need be.
Yeah. And what we're going to do, I definitely get. My eyes are burning out. I definitely get this question a lot. When I'm doing this kind of stuff, again, if it was a paid thing and we're trying to match it exactly, I might use a light meter. You can actually use the metering in your camera and even you just eyeball it to get it right when you're setting up your ratios, and then just make note of it if you want to do it that way. Sometimes it's just easier. There are scopes and stuff in the camera that you can use and know exactly where your tones are, because that's going to be more important than the actual light, the actual amount of light. Okay, so we got this guy again. It's in this large, what's that, 3 feet, 3.5 feet, something like that? Yeah, 36 inches, okay. Dome, which is giving us that kind of double diffuse deal going on. Now, there's probably going to be this question, so I'll answer it. Are we going to get a shadow from this? Very, very unlikely, because this is so diffuse, it's just going to wrap around it. We shouldn't get any shadow from this bar here.
And even if we were to maybe sort of get it, the angle that we placed it in is going to throw it to their feet, which we're not getting.
That is also true. All right, the third light here is a 120D. What does D mean? Oh, it's daylight. Okay, so these are daylight. Aha, fun. I guess we are going daylight then. This is my first day. All right, so this guy here, we're going to raise it up. We had thought about the idea of this being the entrance to the building. It's a really short hallway.
Yeah.
And possibly letting some of the light creep past here. We'll see how that looks. I'm not sure it's going to work.
We'll play around
Mostly
with it.
because the stand's here, and there's a hole in the scrim gym where the clamp goes, so it might get weird if we do that. But we're going to play around. So we're going to try. It's always worth trying. I think the angle is not steep enough. So what I'm doing here is I'm just raising it up on my C-stand. I have the light slightly angled. I want it to feel somewhat flat, but I am actually cheating it and giving it a little bit of angle. And we're going to raise it up. And I'll start this way, and we'll try the shadow on the wall, but I don't know if it's going to, or the highlight, I should say, on the wall, and we'll see if that's going to work. This, by the way, this looks exactly like my first cell phone. Okay. We're having malfunction. Daniel screwed something up. Okay, go ahead and go over that.
So camera settings, we are 24 frames per second. Your white balance is 5500. Our lens is at an f4. And right now, it's set to ISO 400. I might change that since the native ISO of this camera, which we're using the C100 Mark I, the native ISO is 800. Now, I'm going to ask a question to the audience. Who knows why you want to stick closer to your native ISO than just your lowest ISO, which is what you usually do in photography? Nobody. Because of what? Because of movement? No. So you want to stay close to your native ISO as much as possible because of dynamic range. So your native ISO is basically what the camera sensor is like built to be the ideal for that specific camera. So it's going to give you more latitude on your highlights and on your shadows. I mean, it's gonna change a little bit if you go to like from 800 like higher, and obviously it gets to a point where your latitude just like shrinks completely, and even a little bit less, but even like the same in if you go lower from your native ISO. So I'm gonna change this, and I'm gonna make sure we are at ISO 800. No.
Yeah, okay, so just as I thought, we've got to kill these two, yeah. Thanks, Seth. As I thought, you know, again, I had an idea. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll do it a second. I got it, Seth. You know, I thought maybe the light coming in might creep in and feel like a door, but it doesn't at all. Like, I can already tell that as I'm doing it. Sometimes, you know, if things aren't going to work exactly what you think, just make a change on the fly. Yeah, I made a creative decision to change this. Easy enough to say that. And I'll just go like this. I'm going to get in a little closer. Get a little closer. By the way, this is the beauty of C-stands right there. You're seeing it right this moment. Nesting. All right, so I might actually flatten it a bit too. I'm keeping it a little brighter than it needs to be just so I can see where it's falling, and then we'll mess with the exposure after. So you can probably actually see this is creating almost like a circle of light. Like in the hallway, it might actually just be that, right? You guys can probably see that, I'm guessing? Mm-hmm. We're going to make it bigger because we want to make it a little softer, make it a little nicer. Cool. All right. So I personally like to do one light at a time. So let's kill those.
Yeah, let's kill the other ones. Let's kill this. And let's
kill. Right. So I'm going to do this one first because I'm standing here. And again, this is going to give like a base hallway light, and I'm going to, which I shouldn't be doing, I'm looking at the TV here, which is not really a good monitor of it.
Well, it's our monitor today.
But I'm eyeballing it. Yeah.
I like this.
That's not terrible.
Which one?
That looks decent. I'm at 70% right now. It's probably a hair bright because I don't want this to be our highlight. Can you show the scopes?
Let me see if I can bring them up.
Spontaneous ask for things in the middle of a live thing. That's the key
always.
To all live.
That's,
I don't know if it'll show up on the screen or not.
That never goes wrong.
Yeah. We're going to try to show you the scope so you can see how to meter it. Have you guys got any questions so far?
Oh, you know what? The signal's not going to go through.
The signal won't go through. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
You can
like
see it, but
I can see it here. But
okay, we can see it, but it won't go through. So basically, your scope is.
I mean, I can't see it right now, but I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Look, there's no.
So it's giving you your exposure, and it's showing you where all the different tones fall. So if you haven't used scopes, see, this is the thing. We'll figure out a way to do that. And maybe that's something that, again, if you want to know more about that stuff, let us know in comments because we'll maybe do a class about that because I think that's kind of relevant.
Yeah.
About metering for filmmaking. I think we're turned down a smidge. What's great about LED lights in this situation is just the total control here. Like there's all these numbers on here that probably mean something, and I can turn them up and down. And then just because I'm going to bring in this light, it's always important whenever you're doing a class, or even if you want to just like clients there, to do the good light last. That way they're impressed. So we'll do the two kind of junky lights first, right? All right, so this is now too close to the wall, I think. I want them to be kind of the same, but not exactly. That's probably pretty good. You know, again, this is like hallway light. We're trying to, actually, this needs to be the opposite of what it is. Is that going to be the shot if I put it over here?
No, you're good.
Okay.
That's out.
Okay, why did it have to be the opposite? Because before the light was coming the wrong direction. It didn't make sense. It was like the light was coming this way, which doesn't make any sense if her apartment is there. So I'm kind of twisting it slightly to get my shadow over there. Although I still think it's too close to the edge. So we're going to change that. I'm just going to bring the light over here so I can change its setup. It's hot.
Any questions so far while he's moving that? Oh, y'all get everything. On the internet?
They just waiting for you to start shooting.
We're going. Yeah.
All right.
They're saying they sense chemistry between the actors.
Oh, people on the internet said they're saying they sense chemistry between you guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
We're best friends.
That?
Thank God.
They said yes. We can't hear you. Yeah.
That's because they're good actors.
Yeah. Huh? They act like they have chemistry.
Right. They hate each other.
Damn.
All right, so scan my check. Gotta go.
See you later.
All right. So I'm going to let her side be a little. Does my microphone still on? It is, right?
Your mic should be on, yes.
I often turn it off. Yeah. Okay. So as you see, she's a little bit warmer. We're playing that up, right? Because that's kind of the inside part of it. They're roughly lit the same. That's kind of the junky lighting you might have in a hallway, although you'd have walls to bounce it around, so it might be a little bit better than that. Is it still too shadowy on that side? I'm gonna flatten this out. You're not gonna get any tighter, right? That's the shot.
No, yeah, that's as
Okay,
wide as
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna
move
get.
this out further. I was gonna try to go for a. That's it. I'm trying to make the circles roughly the same size. Cool. So this is. I was gonna try to maybe again, like on the other side, throw some light from the side. Doesn't look like I want it to look. You could tend, if you really wanted that, you could spend time building a cookie or something, but we didn't do that. We didn't bake cookies today.
We did not bake cookies today.
No.
Are we good here?
I would like to bake cookies, but that would be a whole other class. Now, Fernando gets to do the main light because he's the director.
Yeah, and
That's actually not the director's job. We're going to let him do it.
boom.
Boom. Right. So then this is going to be our fill light. So again, we want it to be shadowy. So we're in a hallway, but we want to give enough light in the front to fill in their eyes. So this is what this front light's doing. It's all, you're just going to bring it up and clean it up.
Are we happy with power? Do you want to?
I think it's to turn off for a second.
So this is at 10%. That's the lowest.
Yeah.
And then I can start bringing it up until we see.
I think that it
Can you
needs
guys
to-
look at each other and having a conversation? Because that's where it's mostly going to be.
Yeah.
And then I can
Is this
go-
one too bright? Let's see. Now we have the key in there. We're going to lower, mess with our other lights a little bit.
That's at 50.
That looks pretty good. Online what? There will be cookies.
Well, they need to be here.
We should do a food shot of only cookies. Actually, and I'm going to throw this out there, Peter. Dave from Westcott, he brings cookies every year.
Oh.
And I'm just saying,
There's a reason it shows warmer on the female.
They,
no, like a full cookie. No, I mean like cookies to eat. And not only does he bring cookies, he brings a variety of cookies. So, you know what I'm saying? All you brands out there, bring me cookies. And thanks, Dave. It's actually Dave's wife. I totally gave him credit, which isn't fair. Dave's wife makes awesome cookies.
Yes, she does. Are we happy with?
I'm happy with it.
50% on the thing.
How do you guys feel? You feeling it?
You guys are good?
Looks pretty good. I know this isn't a great judge for you guys. But that looks pretty good to me. And again, we're looking for light that feels like it's in the hallway, but is a little bit nicer. We're not looking for pretty light. This wouldn't be something we'd do somebody's glamour shot under. This is overhead lighting, right? But we're bringing it up a little bit. For the close-ups, we might fill in a little more. We might play around just to give a little, maybe even just a reflector. But for the wide,
And we
this is
almost
gonna be-
definitely, given the space, are going to cheat.
we're definitely gonna cheat.
Yeah.
We always cheat.
It's our cheat day today.
Yeah. Okay, so now that's good. Fernando. Oh, look at your lens.
Yeah, look at that. So, usually dialogue data, and again, we might change it in the future. We've been talking about like doing, but we usually want to keep it two-shot, shot, reverse shot. Try to keep it as simple. It's your classic. Even the pros, your David Fincher, your Spielberg, everybody goes back to a wide shot, reverse shot. So it's always good, especially this being kind of like a quick overall of shooting dialogue. It's always good to get it. So that's what we're doing here. This is going to be our two-shot. So like we said, they are walking in through the hallway, and this is just before she goes into her room. To reiterate, that's why we're doing warmer on her. To represent that, that's where she's going and everything. We don't have an actual door, so this is what we're doing to represent that space. And we're gonna shoot the whole scene of them, walking into the hallway, and then after that, we're gonna shoot the shot and reverse shot, and we're probably gonna reposition a couple of the lights. We'll see, and we'll go through it as we do. Are we ready to rehearse? You think?
Yeah, I think we can do it. So, you didn't say anything about the camera, though.
I did.
Did
You
you
were
talk about
working,
the
I think you
settings?
were working with Peter. Yes, I will repeat the settings.
I missed it.
You missed it. Because Daniel missed it, I'm going to repeat the settings. So, like I said, I went back to the native ISO, which is
I did
ISO
hear
800. I closed down to a 5.6 to compensate because we were at a 4. So ISO 800, f 5.6. We are 5500 Kelvin for white balance. And our lens is at a 24 millimeter. So right now we're shooting with the Canon 18 to 80 power zoom. So we have like that range. It's easier because we're teaching a class to just throw in a zoom, and we can let you know what we're at. So this is right now for us is a 24 millimeter on a super 35 millimeter sensor, which is your standard cinema sensor or standard video cameras as well. Size sensor. For those in the photography world, that would be an APS-C size sensor, not a full frame. And what else am I missing? So yes, and we're on the zoom, and this is equivalent to a 24 millimeter.
Frame rate, color.
Frame rate, 24 frames per second, and shutter angle is like 180 if you have the camera. In this case, we're also showing 50 frames per second. Given that you always want to, if you're doing shutter speed, you always want to double the amount of your frame rate in order to keep motion blur as correct as possible.
Right.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Also, before we move ahead, like I said, we are shooting on a zoom. I recommend whenever possible shoot with primes. Why? Less glass. What was that?
I thought cool people shoot with primes.
Cool people shoot with, well, cool people do shoot with primes, but that's just like an added bonus, Daniel. No, you always want to shoot with primes because it's less glass. You're usually going to get higher quality from a prime. Is not as quick and convenient as a zoom, but a zoom has a higher lens formula. There's more physical things, physical lenses in between, and that's always going to add a little something. Your prime is always going to try to keep it as clean.
Well, this is particular to the fact that we're shooting the one camera narrative dialogue. That if you're shooting a documentary, a zoom might be the way to go. Right?
Yeah, of course. Again, I'm speaking to narrative dialogue.
Exactly.
Yeah, sometimes you're going to need it to be zoom and and flexible and stuff.
They're asking if it's standard or neutral for color grading later.
What was that?
They're asking if you're in neutral for color grading later.
I believe we're pretty standard because we might be in and let me check because I haven't checked a little bit. They're asking on the internet. They're asking if we are in neutral because you have the color profile, I guess, is what they're asking for. So I believe we are in, and let me just check because I totally haven't checked.
We're probably in something because the first few times I did that, you can't hear me. Really?
You got a haircut.
Oh yeah, I did. But I can't see still, so that's always good. Yeah.
Give me a second.
We actually the first couple times we did this, we shot in log, which might even be even better for you, especially if you're going to do a lot of color grading.
Yes.
We not going to shoot it in log because then everybody looks at it and says it looks terrible because of course the log looks terrible.
Yeah,
when
we
you're
might
shooting
just have
super
it.
flat.
I think we might just have it on the standard profile because it's out. I do see it. It does seem a little flat to me. So let me just make sure.
Now, on that note, what you can do, and we couldn't make it work here because what you have to understand is that we're teaching a live class, shooting a narrow dialogue, putting it through a multicam system and streaming it, so we're kind of a little restricted. If you had a client here, and this was a bigger job or the whole crew, you might shoot in log and then use some kind of a monitor that you could apply a LUT, and a LUT is basically going to allow you to make the image look like this standard or whatever we want to do profile, so they can see it that way as it's going on, but you're still recording it at the highest quality or the most dynamic range, I should say, is what you're going to get with the with the log, right? Sounds right.
Sure.
I say stuff, he nods. I'm trying to be Dave. Did that sound very Dave-ish?
I apologize. I haven't used this camera in
I can't
quite a
reach
bit of
that
time.
that level of
Daveness.
coolness. Yeah. Are we going to do the camera? Oh, yeah, you guys are good. So they'll be able to hear online. So we're going to run through a rehearsal for you guys once we get this set up and we get the color. Then, just if you're watching online, you may lose your audio when we do the actual recording because we have to unplug the way we're connected to the multicam system so we can actually hear the audio ourselves properly because we want to be able to give the actors a cut of this. So you'll have to bear with us on that. Any questions while we're hanging out here, doing the thing? We're union. This is time for the break. Waiting for craft services to come.
Wow, this one.
This is a C100?
Yeah, I think this is 12 stops at the highest. but I'm not 100% sure. Again, I haven't used this in a bit.
Yeah, this one's a bit of a little bit of an older model.
Yeah.
Because we just took it off the floor here.
We took it off of display, and our is hopefully it's going to be old multicam setup is very particular with cameras,
Yes,
and we know
it likes
this one will work.
Yeah. So that's why we chose that camera. If you're wondering, there's a lot of great cameras out there. So we may mix it up in the future, but this Canon C100 is a good, reliable for this type of thing. Okay, we'll let you know about we'll answer the color question in a moment. We're gonna just move on because Fernando is going through menus, which as much as we like watching YouTube videos of somebody just flipping through menus on a camera, I gotta think maybe that's not the thing to watch right now.
Probably
you never
not.
know. By the way, people that are here, did you walk by that thing? Did it yell at you when you walked in? There's some kind of security camera thing that they must be selling or whatever, because you walk by, it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Or is that only me? Okay. Oh, it's okay. There we go.
Calm down.
That's what I thought. Exactly. What's up? What was the question?
No, we're good. We're fine.
Okay. We're moving on.
Okay,
We'll
so
figure
let's
it
go
out.
through rehearsal real quick. Let me just.
Are we gonna have him walking, or we're gonna go?
Yeah, they're gonna walk in.
Oh yeah. Did you already tell him? Yeah. He's still good. I'm gonna stand to the side because Fernando does this stuff.
Are you just gonna pan, or am I walking into the?
For the way. Oh, yeah, you could just like walk out.
Do you want to do a
Don't kill yourself.
Fernando, do you want to do a sound test on their labs?
Yeah, let's do a quick sound test, sure.
Like set up sound.
Well, we should be up actually. Yeah. We are definitely connected. So if you are,
Yes.
Yes.
Taken.
Kicking, yeah.
Oh,
I'm
no,
saying so many
Bobo.
dudes though.
My
Like
bad,
I'm
my
saying,
bad.
like
you get anything? Okay, we're testing audio.
I don't know what that was.
I don't know, something about bacon. It was like bacon freestyle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Put some bacon on it.
Push on bacon.
Are you getting them?
Taken.
Kicking.
Oh no, not really, Bobo. My bad, I meant Bobo.
Nah,
I should have already kicked
It's
in.
fine.
Stop.
You sure?
I like
Ah.
when you call me Bobo.
Are we getting him?
You feel like a man.
You know what I'm saying?
All right,
Not
yeah,
good
let's do a walk-in real quick. We'll go through quick rehearsal. And whenever you're ready, guys.
So what's good? What's the deal? You caking with anybody?
Taken.
You talking to any dudes?
Oh no, not really, Bobo. I'm bad, I meant Bo.
It's cool. It's fine. I like it when you call me Bobo. Makes me feel like a man. Yeah. I mean, when you say it. So, can I take you out for a slice tonight? Come on, no drama. I promise. Just Bo and L, like old times.
I got some work to do before classes start tomorrow. Itu, ain't you busy? I hear you a super now.
Not really. Yo, being a super really ain't that much. Ever since the management came in and took over, yo, they renovated everything. So I don't really got shit to do, except take care of the buildings like yours and mom's. All those buildings are jacked up. So, what you want to eat?
You mean like go out?
Yeah, whatever you want. It's your oyster.
Man, you know I'm allergic to seafood.
Girl, you know I know that. Come on, it's like a wordplay, expressions, man. I've been reading, expanding my horizons.
Really, what you reading right now?
The 5 love languages.
Oh.
Your mama Joan gave it to me. She thought I should read it.
Really?
So, cheese or pepperoni, Gorda?
Nah, I'm good. I got some work to do, so.
All right.
Thanks, Bobo.
I'll see you around then.
Night.
Night, yo.
And it's a cut and rehearsal. Pretty good.
Cool.
Let's just.
Alrighty, so what do we think? Are we happy with that? Was that your phone? Are we happy with that? Everything got covered, everything as well? Show me again. Who exited?
When she exited, the shadow on her, it did look like she was going into.
Into its own?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, we did that on
Almost like we know
purpose.
what we're doing.
That was totally on purpose, I swear.
Yeah, of course. Cool. Do we want to go for a take?
Let's
or
do it, I
anything-
think. We're
anything-
ready?
Any
We feeling
questions
it?
before? Any questions before we go for a take?
Did it make anybody hungry?
Do you have directions?
Yes.
All right, that's what I thought.
No, you're good.
I thought they did good. Not bad.
Bye.
Not?
Bye.
Internet, everybody good?
How you gonna talk to me?
All right,
Yo,
let's go
coming for your
for.
life.
Are they going to lose it online?
We could just go one with.
Just kill the
one
house
with that.
speakers and just run it.
Yeah,
They can
yeah,
do
yeah. Cool house speaker.
Can we come in last?
it. All right, you guys are
Yeah.
silenced.
Let me. I just wanna make sure. I just wanna make sure I get focus on it. Can you get go to places just to make sure I get perfect?
All right, so he's going to.
Your mics are still up. It's still.
Cool.
I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot.
A sound question. There's all this background.
Is your question sound? Is your question sound?
Yes.
See, I played wordplay. You like that?
Yeah, we're doing good. Yeah. So with all this background noise and
Here,
everything, the kind of
look at
labs
her.
that you're using will only pick up their audio. It's not picking up all this diffuse sound.
Okay, so the question is, because there's noise here, right? Are we going to pick that up a little bit, or is the lav going to basically eliminate it? We're going to pick up some of it. Is the answer to that question? Generally, microphones are the key to miking somebody is kind of like the way you like somebody. You want to get it as close as possible. So a lav being very close is going to pick them up much louder. We're probably going to pick up some ambient noise from the space.
All right, wait, let's run sound.
Obviously, if we were in control and we weren't in a store, we would try to quiet on the set, blah, blah, blah. But make sure that wherever you are, record a little bit of the ambient sound so that you can use that as, so you don't get dead spots where you put cuts. So basically, let's say we're here and there's this overall rumbling of sound. Room
Yes,
tone.
room tone, yes.
Look at you, room tone. All right, she's got it. Room tone.
And actually, we literally cover this in the new episode of Film Form that's going to come out maybe before the end of the year.
Is that the one where I had to go back and shoot it?
No, was it? I'm not sure. Maybe. In any case, yes, we explained that. But yes, exactly that. You want to get a good amount of room tone or ambient of the place and lay that over your track. Because if not, sometimes depending on the angle, even though like the actors, let's say, depending on how you record it, like we said with lavaliers, you're still getting their angle, but things change. By the time, let's just say we're getting a Pierre shot, and then we jump to Annalisa, maybe there's like something happening during one of those shots, and it's going to be different than when we shoot Annalisa. Even though their mics haven't changed, their movement haven't changed, and the space hasn't changed, it still might affect, but there's other things in the area that might still affect it. So it's always like really, really important to make sure you crossfade their audios and then add some room tone or ambience from the place. Paramount.
Like a hum or something that you don't normally can pick up that is going on in the room too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's always something.
Because that's the other thing. Like even though there might be a hum and you hear the scene and it's like, oh, that sounds really, really bad. But if it's consistent,
Right.
it's in that universe.
Right.
So
Right.
it doesn't matter as much unless it's like
Right, really bad.
over your dialogue. Then that's another
Yeah,
different.
and
problem.
you may notice here, because I think I always do it before we start live on these, that we turn off, because actually the heating duct is right here in this space.
Yeah.
We always turn it off, or the air conditioner, before we start this, so it's consistent, because otherwise we'd be going on and off, which would be a problem. Off is just better, we can control that. So
and
that's why we do
always
that.
yell quiet on set. I
Yeah.
don't care if they listen
Who's
or
going
they
to do that?
not.
Do you want to do that? That's your job. You're going to do it?
Yeah,
You
you're
gotta
gonna yell
loud, though.
really loud when
we got it.
I'm very loud.
when
All
I
right.
point to you. You're gonna
No,
you're gonna
I'm
yell
surprised.
quiet on set really loud. Got it?
I got you.
Awesome.
I don't know.
I can do that.
Which one? Oh, so they're asking why if they barely got there and she's about to go into an apartment and the warmer light represents her apartment, why isn't there a door being opened and closed?
Well, right. I think the assumption is that the door has been opened already when he shows up. So that's why this. Why do
No,
you
but
leave the
that's the
lights
thing.
on?
They're barely getting to the
Oh,
door.
why didn't she have her lights turned off? I don't know.
Yeah. I
It's a
mean,
movie.
again, I wish we had a door. I wish we were actually shooting that on
Yeah, we
location.
could have just went dark on that side. We could see that what that looks like.
can play.
But
can play.
the effects of it worked because it looked like they had just gotten to
You
the
tell them.
door.
Get online. Tell them.
She took her keys out. She took her keys
Yeah,
out
yeah.
after they finished their conversation.
Yep.
And then when she went that way, you could see like this shadow over her that
Yeah.
looked like she was actually going into her door. So what you
Yeah.
did was perfect to cover the scene.
Yeah, I think what the question is they're thinking realistically. They're thinking realistically. Well, hold on, she just got there. Why is her light on?
Because
Well, I don't know. That's why she didn't want to invite him in, right? Maybe there's somebody already there. I don't know.
But it's a hallway. It appeared as a hallway.
Yeah.
And she's going into
So yeah, no, right.
I'm
It's
just saying the type of the shadow.
facts. It's a creative choice, but it's not a bad point.
Actually.
We could go cool on this light so it matches.
Let's keep going.
Let's go. All right.
Alrighty. So for take this one, I'm gonna let the audio keep going, even though we are gonna shoot it, and then I'm gonna monitor the next one.
So, okay.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
I'm good. Okay, and camera's rolling,
Quiet on the set.
and whenever you're ready, guys.
So what's good? What's the deal? You caking with anybody?
Caking.
You talking with any dudes?
Oh no, not really, Bobo. My bad, I meant Bo.
No, it's good. It's fine. I like it when you call me Bobo. Makes you feel like a man. Well, at least when you say it, you know. So can I take you out tonight for a slice? Come on, no drama. I promise. It's just Bo and L, like old times.
No, I got some stuff to do before class starts tomorrow. We do. Ain't you busy? I hear you a super now.
Yeah, not really. You know, being a super really ain't that much, man. Ever since the new management came in, yo, they renovated everything. So I ain't really got shit to do, except take care of the buildings like yours and mom's, you know. All the old ones are jacked up. So what you want to eat?
You mean like go out?
Yeah, whatever you want, it's your oyster.
Well, you know I'm allergic to seafood.
Girl, you know I know that. Come on. Man, it's just an expression. Man, I've been reading, you know, expanding my horizons.
Really? What you reading right now?
The 5 love languages. Yeah, Mama Jones gave it to me. She thought I should read it.
Really?
So, cheese or pepperoni, Gorda?
I'm good. I got some work to do, so
Aye.
thanks for helping me, Bobo.
I'll see you around then.
Good night.
Night, Al.
That's a cut. Cool. Really good. Really good, guys. Because we are going to, or I'm going to, we're shooting, we're actually recording to the camera. We're actually going to put these together, and we usually put them online for you guys to see, like, the final product. I do want to make sure I monitor the audio, because right now we're just sending it to the internet. So let's do another take where I make sure that we get, you know, good audio, consistent audio from you guys to the recording, to the camera, and then we'll move on after that. So let's do one more.
Okay.
And again, we're going to cut the audio for the internet.
Yeah.
Man.
It's a form of expression. Damn, I keep
So Daniel noticed that we are getting a little bit of shadow on the background. So let's place you guys in. I just want to make sure and give you guys, like, yeah, see? Let's a little bit closer right there.
Yeah, I felt
Can I
that.
put
Yeah,
on
man?
I
Yeah.
felt that.
Are we good with their eyes?
Yeah.
Just a little bit further back, probably. Right there. Right there. We're good there? There we go. Improv thing. We're on tape.
Stay right there.
Yeah. All right.
I'm
so-
definitely gonna hit this here. Here.
That's all right.
all right, I got it.
No, I'll hit it. I know I'll hit it.
Oh,
Just hit
she's,
that right
she's a
there.
pro. Are you sure you want to take
No,
it?
I do want to take it.
Yeah, all right, okay.
Listen.
So we're going to mark
She said,
our
I wanna take it.
actors. Oh, so in case you guys are, this is what you want to do. You get a little piece of tape, throw it in half, and you make a little T.
That was like a magic trick.
Yeah, it's like a magic trick, right? Give me your, how are you going to be standing?
I think it's right here.
Mostly here. So then you want to put the T. Is there a camera on me? Can you put that on there? There we go. A little bit lower, a little bit lower. There we go. So you want to put your T that you just created just where your actor is going to have a mark. We said right here, right?
Yeah.
And I'll do the same for Pierre. Where are you going to be mostly, Pierre? I know you're going to be floating a little bit, but
Right here.
right there. All right.
Keep it right here.
I'm going to mark him again. Got your thing. Split it in half. You make your T, and you mark your actor. Now,
Thank
ideally,
you.
in a professional set, you are going to have a bunch of these in different colors. And then, you know, each color is going to be your different actors, and you're going to, you know, they're going to know what is their color. And then, you know, apply to that.
Are you
like that?
kidding me?
Alrighty. Are we good?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
go for
we're
an actual
good.
take. Again, people on the internet might lose sound, so be aware of that. We'll try to get it out as quick as possible. Seth says you guys are definitely are. All right, so let me monitor. Gonna hook up here. Go for another take before we move on to the singles. Cops outside. Seems legit. Real quick, say something. Okay, you're good. Let me just, I also noticed, let me fix your cable real quick.
You just want to touch it?
Yeah, I just want to touch it.
That's okay.
All right. Alrighty. All right, let's go for a take then. Rolling.
Oh, quiet on set.
And whenever you're ready, guys.
Nice. Well done.
Good. So I will point out that even though we marked it, our actor was still a little bit like off. I gave him quick directions at the moment. I still think we got it between this and like the beginning. Plus, we are teaching a class, so we got to move on.
Well, and also this time, even though she went back a little bit, it was okay. It wasn't there the whole time.
Yeah.
Like the one time that I pointed out, because it was like there the whole time, then it got worse, so it really felt lit.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
if you're in a hallway, there's going to be a shadow because there's a light bouncing.
No, most definitely. So I'm going to move this a little bit more. Although we're going to wait. No, you're good.
Okay, so we're just going to switch up the angle. Any questions before we move on? Yes.
It was a shadow that you're concerned about?
Well, it was the way the shadow looked, right? There's always going to be shadows somewhere.
All right.
Because we added this light to the front, this like cheating light,
go, like this is gonna be your.
it now adds some directionality, right? We're throwing the light this way, where the other lights are going pretty much straight down. This one's throwing this way, which means it's putting a shadow on the wall. Which, if you're walking down the hall when you lean against it, there will be a shadow there. It's gonna be there. It was just the first time they were a little too close to it, so there's a shadow the whole time. Then when you move closer, it was almost like we were doing shadow puppets. So it's this fine line between having the light the way you want it, and also looking realistic on some level. If we wanted it to look super, again, if this is a lighter scene, I said that near the beginning, but people are joining us later. So I didn't want it to be super shadowy. We could just kill this all together and make it much more moody if the scene was darker, and then we wouldn't have that issue, but it would be a whole different feel. So I think it was fine. You know, I think that take the shadow was okay. Yeah, but that was what we were looking at, the shadow on the wall. Other questions?
All right, so we're gonna go. No questions
Well, how about online? Huh?
online.
Nice. Cool.
All right. So we're gonna go to Pierre's single,
Yes.
Bobo's single.
So basically, we're gonna do the kind of classic 3 shots. We got the double or the 2 shot, and then we're gonna go an individual shot on each person. They're close up, if you will. Yeah, they're gonna be close up, right?
So first we're gonna keep it as.
Or you're gonna do a medium.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely tie it on
medium,
him.
So yeah, but they're singles at this point.
Yeah, they're singles.
And this is often called shot, reverse shot. So it's like when they're talking and you're going back and forth, you're going to do each person's side. And then we'll have the establishing shot, which is the 2-shot in the beginning. Probably, oh my God, the famous director, Moses.
Moses.
Woohoo. All right, so yeah, so that's going to give us, depending on the situation, you might linger on this establishing shot a lot, or you might just use it to set up where you're at, maybe, and then close the scene. It really depends.
Let's move you this way, Annalisa. Move you this way. Okay. So we're going to have to cheat.
Okay. We only have so much wall.
Yeah.
Right?
Because of the amount of wall we got.
Right, so we're going to basically figure out where he needs to be to still have enough wall behind him, and then we'll just adjust everything as, yeah.
Yes. Normally, you want to keep, whenever you change an angle, try to keep your light exactly like it is, and then adjust afterwards.
Yeah, if it's not working, we'll tweak it.
Exactly.
Not twerk. That's a different
thing.
Right, that's like a dance or something, I think.
So let's see. We are thinking. Yep, that was me. I got it. No worries.
Electrical.
I sometimes turn off lights with my tripod.
There we go.
All right.
Luckily, we're in indie film, so we didn't have to wait for electrical to come in for that.
Come this way. Stay there. Shift your body like you're talking to her. I just want to make sure we got that covered. All right, we're gonna go.
So that's interesting. Okay, so this we may have to change the lighting only because of the color, because we were playing around.
Yes.
If I had not tried to be fancy and kept all the same colors, wouldn't be an issue. But now he's in warmer light than he was before, so we're probably gonna have to just swing it out a bit.
Yep. Well, we're gonna probably just let's see if we can move like the whole setup just a little bit to this.
A little bit, but I think we'll just swing the tungsten light first. I'll wait till you
first. I think this
is
going to be our shot, yeah.
I'm just going to go like this. I mean, I might even be able to get away just using the barn door. I just want to keep it off of him a bit. Mm-hmm. And then just get that nicer light in his face with the big light over here. That's kind of not the way he uses stand, because you shouldn't really swing the light out like that. So I am going to turn it.
You could still probably shift it a little bit this way if you want. There's room. Advice, do not shoot in a tiny little space in a store.
Always shoot
if you can avoid. Yeah. It's great because they have all the equipment you need really quickly, but.
All right. Somebody's like watching online and can't wait till I answer the question, so they keep calling me. Stop calling me. Ask it in the chat. All right, I'm gonna move this bad boy.
We're shifting everything a little bit to the right. Careful on the top. Okay, with there. Careful with the top. It's hitting the. There we go.
Oh yeah, we got a light. We got something up there.
Yeah.
That's only the structure of the building. I'm gonna drop.
It's only the structure of the building. Are we good there?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop this a little bit.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Bam.
Right. Yeah, we're good.
Now I'll try not to break anything.
Yeah, just try.
Yeah.
Do we want to again move this a little bit so we can get that guy closer too?
Can.
Yeah, let's try it.
I don't think we need to, but sure. Why not?
If you really don't think we need to.
Nah, I don't.
All right. Well, then we're gonna tilt the light so it's a little bit closer. You think?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or we can extend the arm.
Yeah, sure. So we haven't moved the scrim at all.
Yeah,
it's still covering like the area that was covering before. We were just cheating him. We did move the 300D closer to center, to be a little bit more centered on him, like it was before. And now we are moving his backlight, or when they're coming from the hall, a little bit closer to him, which is what Daniel's doing right now.
I don't want to extend it too much because I'm not going to go out on the leg.
No, that's fine. I don't think we need it too much.
Am I up?
So the interesting thing about these, if there's anybody here that comes from the photography world, and the interesting thing about these lights is that they are Bowens mount. So if you already have any Bowens mount modifiers, it's a really common mount to go about. You can put any modifier on it. Is that right, Peter? Any Bowens mount modifier. So there's a lot of like photography equipment that you can set to this guy's question.
Why not shoot her before changing the light setup?
Because we would have had to, like, we're gonna move it for her as well. Yeah. So it literally crossed my mind. I was like, which one is gonna be easiest? It doesn't matter, because since we do have, I mean, it's a. That's good. How long is the paper?
107 inches.
9 feet, 107 inches. It's really not enough. I mean, like we're making this wall, which is 107 inches, essentially, you know, like a little bit doubling that to one side, and then when we cheat the other side, we're doubling that on the other side. Because when we cheat her, we're probably going to shoot her here, in this area, or maybe we might go a little bit tighter since it's supposed to be like a door coming up. We'll play around, but yes. What question?
Just check. Yep.
What am I checking? Oh,
Ghosts. There's a ghost in the attic.
There's
here.
a ghost in the
See
attic?
that? Actually, this is just like an old building. He said it. We got some flickering going on. I think we got to tighten that thing.
Okay, let me get it out.
Every time I touch that light, I break it, so I'm not going to do it anymore. So just in case you're watching online, right now we're having some. Apparently, there's something blowing up. There's like something about a cat video or something on Facebook blowing up, so the whole internet is going slower. So you're probably seeing the detail go down, like we can see it here when we're watching at the same time. But that's why it's kind of looking a little bit grainy and maybe a little muddy. I assure you, it does not look like that. You trust me. Oh, it looks washed out. Well,
we haven't set camera settings, so if it looks a little washed out, we're not there yet.
Got a little loop-de-doop.
Yep.
Work.
Well, let's hope it doesn't go bad.
Good. All right. Think.
There.
Yeah, if you don't own a ladder, yeah, you should
Buy
have a
one.
ladder. Key piece of equipment. Yeah. Or a tall PA.
Yes. All right. So our lights should be in the right place. Now, again, you're going to recheck settings on your camera. Pierre, look at her, please. Oh, say, I don't know. I don't think we're that far. Let me just make sure.
This is island. Is it this? Or is it this? Yeah, that feels right.
I guess we're, if anything, a little bit off. So I'm gonna go from 5'6" to 6'3". Not a massive difference, but enough to make a little bit of change. All right, I'm gonna remark our actor. This one you need to be a little bit more strict to, since we're pretty tight on you.
Blue, right?
You are the only one there, sir.
Trying to be funny.
Good thing you're trying to be.
Oh, wow. That hurt. Wow.
I got you.
Well,
Pierre, we know we love you, Pierre.
Wow, Fernando. That's how you get the actors.
so evil.
Just joking, guys. Wow.
You're really funny.
Love you, Pierre. All right. Let's go for a rehearsal. Even though we already rehearsed the whole thing, why do we want to go for a rehearsal again? Because you want to make sure it's right. Sure, that's the most general answer, Moses, that anybody could have done. You want to make sure it's right, yes, in terms of your light, in terms of where your actor's going to land. You want to make sure that everything is still consistent with what you already shot.
Right. Rehearsal doesn't just mean the actors with their lines. It means everything.
It means everything. Yeah. All of the things.
All of the things.
So let's go for another rehearsal. Since we're doing clean singles, the difference between a clean single and a dirty single is usually a dirty occupies a little bit of your other actor. So you would probably see like maybe Annalisa's like shoulder right here or not. It's a taste thing. It's a intention thing. Right now for this one, given the tight space, let's keep it clean. Also, shooting it clean, which means just your actor, helps you a lot in editing. You don't have to make sure that, you know, wherever Annalisa's doing, maybe she's, you know, acting like a chicken and that's not what she was supposed to be doing at that moment. We can cut it to whatever because we have a clean one of Pierre and a clean one of her.
They're asking why the back of her head wouldn't be in the shot.
Because we're not, because we're, oh, they're asking on the internet why we're not seeing the back of her head. Well, we're just setting an angle where if we were to be standing there and focusing on something, we wouldn't see it.
Well, that would then be dirty.
Yeah, that would be a dirty shot. That's exactly what I'm
It
explaining.
could be the delay because maybe they didn't catch the
Got it. It could be a delay.
So
Okay.
yeah, it's a choice.
Yeah, it's totally a choice for either production reasons or taste and aesthetics reasons.
Yeah.
All right, let's go for a rehearsal.
Yeah.
Cool.
You want me to walk into frame or can I just
Walk
stand
into
here?
frame.
Okay.
Let me throw audio up again.
He just said thank you for both times you explained.
You're welcome. That's what I thought. I thought the delay would be. Yeah, that happens sometimes.
850 for a pool.
Alrighty. And let's go for a rehearsal whenever you're ready.
So what's the deal? Caking with? Brain fart. Sorry.
This is what you rehearse.
One take, Drake. Let's get it.
Right? Shut up.
And whenever you're ready.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Good deal. Good deal. Cool. I'm ready, man.
Whenever you're ready.
So what's good? What's the deal? You cake with anybody?
Taken.
You talk with any dudes?
Oh, no, not really, Bobo. My bad. I meant to call you Bo.
No, it's good. It's fine. I like it when you call me Bobo. Makes me feel like a man. Oh. So can I take you out for a slice tonight? Come on, no drama. I promise. Just Bo and L, like old times.
Nah, I got some work to do before school starts tomorrow. You ain't you busy? I hear you a super now.
Not really. Being a super, you ain't really got to do that much. I mean, ever since new management came in, they renovated everything. So I ain't got shit to do, you know. Except, take care of the apartments like yours and mom's. All the old ones are jacked up. So what you want to eat?
You mean like go out?
Yeah, whatever you want. It's your oyster.
Man, you know I'm allergic to seafood.
Girl, you know I know that. Come on, it's a term of expression. Man, I've been reading, expanding my horizons.
Oh, really? What you reading right now?
The 5 love languages. Yeah, Mama Jones gave it to me. She thought I should read it. So, cheese or pepperoni, Golda?
Really? I got some work to do, so,
All right.
thanks for helping me, Bo.
I'll see you around then.
Good night.
Night, yo.
All right, good. Good thing I was recording because that was really good, even though I said it was rehearsal. Let's do it one more time. I just want to make sure we get good audio on that one. So we're gonna unhook the audio for our peeps on the internet, and
Gonna
we'll
lose audio
go
online
quick.
for a
And
moment.
let's cancel the monitors on this one. And
I'm not doing this just to do it.
all right, let's do it for. Let's go for another take. You guys ready? You
Yeah.
good?
Yep.
Alrighty. Then we are going to roll camera.
Quiet on the set.
Louder.
Quiet on the set.
Perfect. And whenever you're ready.
Yeah. So what's good? What's the deal? You caking with anybody?
Caking?
You talk with any dudes?
Oh, no, Bobo. I'm sorry. I meant Bo.
Nah, it's good. It's fine. I like it when you call me Bobo. Makes you feel like a man, Can I take you out for a slice tonight? Come on, no drama. I promise. Just Bo and L, like old times.
No, I got some work to do before school starts tomorrow. Ain't you a super now?
Man, not really. Man, being a super ain't that much to do. I mean, ever since the new management came in, they're renovating everything. All I gotta do is take care of the apartments like yours and your mom's. All the old ones are jacked up. So what you want to eat?
You mean like go out?
Yeah, whatever you want. It's your oyster.
Man, you know I'm allergic to seafood.
Girl, you know I know that. Come on, it's a form of expression. I've been reading, expanding my horizons.
Oh, really? What you reading right now?
The 5 love languages. Yeah, Mama Jones gave it to me. Yeah, she thought I should read it. So, cheese or pepperoni, Golda?
Really? No, I'm good. I got some work to do, so
All right.
thanks for helping me, Bo.
I'll see you around then.
Good night.
Good night, yo.
And that's a cut.
Good, good.
Awesome.
All right, great. I think we got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Annalisa's shot.
Okay, so we're gonna go back this way.
So yeah, let's move the camera first. I don't want. Yeah, I want to make sure I don't kill anybody here. Oh, it's on this side. Okay. Alrighty.
How'd that happen?
Jesus, I don't know.
Oh.
It's fine. It's fine.
All right,
With that.
should I lift it?
Yeah, go for
Are
it.
you ready?
Yeah, it's the power, so I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you?
Well, you gotta get come closer and do it.
There you go. All right.
Cool. No matter what you do, your cable always gets under the C-stand. I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, go for it. Here.
Is Mike doing what?
Might get what?
Was his mic rubbing?
Not in the last one. 'Cause I was monitoring the last one, so for sure. I wasn't monitoring the first one.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Hopefully not.
We'll check again just before we'll test. Let's move this guy on.
Cool. All right. So do we have camera position?
Yes. Okay. So we're gonna do exactly the same way we're cheating with him. We're gonna cheat with her. We're probably gonna go a little bit tighter, not the whole thing, because we're supposed to be her door as it's exiting. So we might be a little bit tighter on her, given our specific situation. And this could happen in real life as well, where you're pretending this is something that it's not. So you're cheating it like that. So we might go a little bit tighter on her. Plus, she is the main character, so if we have that extra tight shot, extra attention, it's not a bad thing. Can you help me move this guy?
You
a
want
little
to move the
bit?
scrim?
Yeah,
Sure.
just a little bit. Just so it doesn't. I think we're good there.
Coolio.
All right.
All right.
Let's move the big guy too. At the center. Oh, easy. There we go. All right, and can you move the warm light to set in position while I play with Annalisa and find the shot?
I can do that. All right.
Are we good?
Yes. I just want to make sure we get a
Moving the warm
nice
light
shot on
back.
it. Let's have you here. Right there should be good. Let me look for my shot. Look at Boba. Okay. Yeah, I'm very likely gonna do tighter on you.
Cool. Looks pretty good.
Yeah. Yes, we usually, they're asking online if we're gonna show the editing. Oh, how we actually edit the piece. Yeah, probably. We usually don't do that. The final cut we're definitely gonna post. We usually post these guys, and you can find example is I'll give you a link to put there for on this stream. So if you guys want to see other ones we've done for Dialogue Day.
Yeah. So once this one is actually done, unless it's going to go in a playlist, I guess we'll put once this is actually done being streamed, we can comment on the final video and we'll put the link there. That way it'll stay there, because if we do it now, it'll disappear.
Well, no, but right now we can give them examples of other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, you're very generous.
I try, Daniel. You taught me well. Let's, I think we're good. Are we good with her? Look at Boba?
I might move this because she's the star.
She is the star.
And because she's a lady, I might move this a little closer.
Yeah, for sure.
Get a little more light on her face.
So we want to get a little bit more light on her face. It's a little bit nicer.
We're going to
Would that
extra
be
cheat
the
it.
idea?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to extra cheat it. She is the lead, after all.
And I don't know if we would need to, but we could. So, look at me, boo.
Yeah,
Hold it.
Stay
I'm
there.
going to need help
Look
with
at
the
that. Look
spinning.
at
Can you spin the bottom of this thing?
that. What should? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. So you always want to make sure that especially when you're
Right there.
suspending 6,000 pounds out over the seat, no. You want to make sure that the long leg is under the. It's not 6,000 pounds. It's.
It's a soft box, so
Yeah,
it's soft, right?
That's true.
If it falls
is a
on
soft
her.
box.
So let's show it in camera for the people at home. You always want to do. You always want to do your highest leg
Yep. in this now also. Oh, it's on the other side. Black Sabbath. Shucks.
You always want to do your sandbag and where your light is leading. You always want to point your highest leg towards that direction because that's where that's where the C-stand is meant to lean its weight on.
Exactly. I don't know.
Who's that? So yes, so I'll repeat it again. So see how we are booming the light over your subject, right? You always want to put out of the 3 legs of your C-stand. Thank you. And we have an example version. You want the highest leg. That's where your light should lean into. So if we put it on the ground. So always whenever you're booming something and something is going to go into one direction, you don't want to do it like this way or that way. You always want to try to keep your highest leg like leaning towards your
All the
light.
weight should go that way.
Yes. All the weight should go this way.
And the sandbag,
Yeah.
which seems counterproductive, but that's where you put the first sandbag. If you have to put more sandbags, you put it on the other legs.
Yeah. But your main sandbag, your heaviest and if only sandbag, you have to put it on you are supposed to put it on your tallest leg and leaning leg.
If anybody wants to go down to Coney Island and get us some more sand, we're down to 1 sandbag here.
We are down to 1. How are we down to 1
I don't know what
sandbag?
happens.
All right. Are we happy with Annalisa's shot? So we can move on.
I'm happy. I mean, I think, again, this isn't some like, it's a gentle scene, but it's not so crazy that we want to overlight her and make it not match. You might do that in some situations, like really overlight her and make her look super glamorous, but we don't need to do that.
We
could
do
put
not?
some, a little like 1960s Star Trek blur, that kind of stuff. We're not going to do that.
Okay. As always, you want to remark your actors, especially when it's especially when it's a tighter shot, and it's really important where they land. You always want to remark and make sure that they land on the right place, which seems pretty fine to me. So.
But I have to stay in this space for the shot.
In this area, you have a little bit of sway, you have a little bit of movement, but you are like right here. No, you're still in frame there. Yeah. It's kind of like a medium shot. Your collarbone, top of your head.
Okay.
So you have a little bit of space, but then if you like lean your weight too much on one side, then it's going to be weird for the shot. So you just need to be aware. You try to you still have that freedom of movement, but yeah, don't just like shift your weight completely to one side or the other, or take 1 or 2 steps out of where you are.
Okay, cool. And we're walking into frame.
And we're walking into frame. Yes, sir.
Is the TV screen the same as the view screens?
In what way? Peter's asking. Oh yes, in terms of the frame, it's exactly what I'm seeing on the camera. Obviously, you guys we're not outputting all the settings and stuff, but what you're seeing on the frame is exactly what I'm seeing on the camera in terms of framing.
It seems like you're clipping off the top of her.
Yes, I am clipping on the top of her head. That is totally fine. Yeah, I mean, again, a lot of it is a taste thing. A lot of people are like, well, why are you're cutting the top of her hair? It's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
There are literally like no specific rules that say this is right or wrong. I mean, go. Let's get again. Let's see it again. I want to like analyze it now that we're there. Yeah, I mean, technically her head is completely in the frame, but we are seeing a little bit of her hair out. Now, we are showing a little bit of emphasis. We are closer to her for a couple of reasons. One, she is the lead. So if we're a little bit closer to her, that is good because you always want to try to relate to that person. The closer you are to them, usually the more relation you feel to that character that they're portraying. And 2, on production reasons, we want to cheat a little bit. We don't want to go too wide like we were with Pierre because she's supposed to the door is literally right out of frame. We don't have a door, so we're cheating. We're improvising for that. That is on the production side, that is another reason why we would be closer to her. That was my first instinct, but then I was thinking, you know what? She is the lead. If we're closer to her, that works. That is fine. Moses?
Also, in an ideal situation, before you would get to this, you'd shoot a wide to kind of get an idea of where the characters are at. So then you just cut to this, and you can just cut to this to a tighter version.
Yes. Well, so what Moses is explaining as well is that in a way, it doesn't matter how tight you may go because we already established the place. if we were to just cut to a scene where the whole scene is like really tight on an actor, unless your intention is completely to disorient your audience, like it doesn't matter if you include an establishing shot or not. But we already did. We already know where we are. We know what we're trying to go for. So that allows us, we already saw the big picture. So that allows us to jump in and be closer to her, be there with her, because we already know where we are. So our instinct is like, okay, now we know more. Now we're closer there. If we were to just do this shot without any context, then we would be confused and we start asking ourselves other questions. And then that way the shot wouldn't work. Any other questions before we go for our shots? Good. All right, let's go for internet. Anybody? Seth? No. We good? All right. So let's go for
Do
a.
you want to just have her start there and walk instead of having to step over that thing?
Yeah, we can have. Yeah, we can have you like right here. It's totally
Sure.
fine. As long as you're online.
Like you already did.
Yeah, I cut the loudspeaker.
I was
Sure.
thinking about the next audition.
That we don't have to worry about too much.
Yeah. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, rehearsal, right?
Let's go for a take, but like
Wait.
without me monitoring. Okay, and we're gonna go for a take, and we're rolling.
Quiet on the set!
And whenever you guys are ready.
So what's good? What's the deal? You cake with anybody?
Caking.
Ain't you talking with any dudes?
Oh, no. Not really, Bobo. My bad. I meant Bo.
No, it's good. It's fine. I like it when you call me Bobo. Makes me feel like a man. Well, can I take you out for a slice tonight? Come on, no drama. I promise. Just Bo and L like old times.
No, I gotta get some work done before school tomorrow. Itu, ain't you busy? I hear you a super now.
Yeah, not really. All right, being a super really ain't that much. I mean, ever since the new management came in, they renovated everything. So I ain't really got shit to do. Well, except take care of the apartments like yours and mom's. All the old ones are jacked up. So what you want to eat?
You mean like go out?
Whatever you want, it's your oyster.
Man, you know I'm allergic to seafood.
Girl, you know I know that. Come on, it's a form of expression. Man, I've been reading, expanding my horizons.
Really, what you reading right now?
The 5 love languages. Mama Jones gave it to me. She thought I should read it. So, cheese or pepperoni, Golda?
Really? I got some work to do, so
All right.
thanks for helping me, Bo.
I'll see you around then.
Good night.
Bye, yo.
And that's a cut.
Cool.
Awesome. Good. Yeah.
All right, we're good. We're good with that. Any
Are we good
questions
with the
before
line?
we go live or off live or whatever we're doing?
Any questions? Some questions online? We're good right now?
Oh, Moses, the famous Moses.
Yes.
You mentioned something about the Star Trek lighter with the beauty light.
Uh-huh.
Just not to get too far off track. If you were going to do that, how would you do that with the fading center?
If we were to give her more of a beauty light than going for what we're going right now is kind of like a realistic but more pleasant light. If you want to do like really beauty light,
We can just I mean, the simple way to do it without going. Oh, yeah, I'm not meaning. Without going over the top is just to add a bounce board in there. I can just show you. We're not going to do it, but you go ahead and stand in there.
Let's go into that. We'll do it real quick. Can you get this?
You can get these. Seth makes them in Brooklyn. They're handcrafted. $300 a piece.
There you go. You gonna go for it?
Ta-da! Right.
So this is a quick solution. Obviously, we wouldn't have the heart light on the back. We probably wouldn't have this heart light on the front. It would just be bigger sources, softer light,
But even
and
just-
adding like an extra fill on the bottom as well. Yeah, if we're just, yeah, I mean this is nice, yeah, versus a little bit harsher.
Yeah, what it's going to do is mostly it's going to bring the eyes up, adding a reflection in the eyes, which then draws you in. You know, but simple solution. It's not right, but it really depends on the feel. You know,
Yeah.
like if maybe like she's getting a little bit into the lines or however you want to say it, but she doesn't go all like if it had been more like really into him at that moment, then we might want to make her more glamorous.
Okay.
You follow me? So you have to judge. You're getting there, so I prettied her up a little bit, but not quite like there's going to be a kiss. You know, then you might want to use this.
So the lighting depends upon the dialogue.
Oh, everything depends on everything. Everything should be motivated. The way your camera moves should be motivated. Where it's placed, it should be motivated. How you light should be motivated. Everything should have a reason why it's like that. Ideally, you're going to have to cut corners, especially if you're doing something, you know, low budget, and even on the high budget settings, sometimes you have to cut corners. But every decision that you make, not only as a director, but as an art director, as a costume mistress, like every decision should be motivated. It should be for a reason.
Word.
Cool.
Oh.
In this case, like, which is the key light and which is the fill?
We're doing a little bit of both. In theory, our key would be the big, soft source. But then you do have like those like hard lights like on it. So right now I guess we're creating kind of like a space more than like
I think we're
traditional
technically
key.
trying to choose one. Probably the silk itself is the key.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. Even though you are getting and you are noticing different sources on their faces, it's still blending over each other because it's a big silk.
Yeah. And actually the edge of this that creeps past is your fill.
Yeah.
So basically this part is basically your fill if you wanted to define it, and all of this is technically the key. And the environment light, it's basically, this is what we're keying our set off of.
Yeah. But there's always like a little overlap.
Yes.
Could you shoot this with 3 cameras doing all shots at one? Not in this space, because we're a little bit limited. But if you have, if you could light it as open and airy as to cover the 3 subjects, and you're happy with the lighting you're getting on both actors with the 3 cameras, you could totally pull it off. Of course. We just can't hear. But I mean, those are going to be limitations. But yeah, if all those boxes can be checked, you know, you have the budget for all 3 cameras, you have the space to light it the way, and what you're going for. We're going back to intention. If what your intention is to create that just, you know, big, soft source, ambient light that no matter what angle you are, is going to work. Right. By all means, you could totally shoot it with 3 cameras.
Well, and also lens choice comes into play.
Yeah.
Because, for instance, if you think about how we shot the first shot, this camera would be in that shot, right?
Yeah.
Which means that if we'd have to change our lens, so we'd have to use a longer lens here. Let's say maybe you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Because a longer lens is a choice that you're making. So if you want to use, if you like to do more intimate stuff where you're standing in close with a wider lens, which a lot of people like to do for close-ups in film, then you can't have other cameras shooting wides at the same time. So
it's all like give and take. The advantage of like a multicam setup is not only that you get 3 angles in one performance. It helps the actors. It helps the actors because they could just be a little bit more natural. They don't have to like dial down. Right now I was restricting her a little bit. It's nothing that should affect her performance, but maybe in another case it would. So, and if you have like a bunch of cameras rolling on them, they can do whatever, and we already caught it, and we're good. That said, it's taking away decision from me as a director, because maybe I want, you know, there's a reason why, you know, we still shoot like 1 camera setups a lot of the time, because sometimes we want to get little details that you're not going to be able to get, or that you would still have to shoot again in a different setup. Having 1 camera, having 1 eye is more control. You know, instead of like one, just like you would have in a light, you know, having a small pocket of light, you're controlling that light versus a big wash of light. You know, and control is important. Making decisions is important. And that's what, you know, shooting on a 1 camera setup gives you. It gives you the ability to be, I want A, B, and C, not just ABC and, you know, we'll get everything and we'll try to cut it in post. So, you know, it's a give and take. You gain something with one setup, you lose something with other setups, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah, and I guess the final thought on that is if you're doing something, the time you see a lot of multicam stuff is when you're doing something that's very expensive.
Yeah.
Like explosions, that kind of stuff, big wide scenes where it's you don't want to have to do that a bunch of times because it's going to be really expensive. So you'll see maybe a dozen cameras set up and just to get all the different angles of like things blowing up and whatever, that kind of stuff.
When it's more expensive than your cameras.
That's exactly. It becomes more expensive than the camera rentals.
Yes?
Yeah.
So with emotional scenes, you're better off with like 1 camera, and like if you're doing like a big expensive, like the more expensive the shot, the more cameras.
That's a good rule of thumb. I mean, you could still do emotional scenes with with a multicam setup, especially because let's say you do have like actors and maybe they are really going really physical with each other. Having like several cameras for that might help for that. But if you're doing like an emotional scene where you really need to be like close on your actor and you really want to light it a particular way and you really want to have control over that specific moment, a one camera setup is going to help you more with that. So again, there's like no one set of rules to do it, but it just depends on like your scene and depends on the situation, and again, depends on your intention as a director. Yeah. Cool. Any questions before we go for the final one?
No, I gotta go.
When you use lighting, let's say you got 5 different locations,
Mm-hmm.
use that lighting. How do you go about getting that same lighting on the other locations?
You measure everything. You measure and you record everything. How do you, sorry, the question is how do we reproduce the same lighting in different locations? You make sure you try to use as close sources as you can, like the same types of lights, and you measure everything. You measure distance from light to floor. You measure ratios, all the modifiers you might have used. But record. You should have a book. If you're a gaffer or a DP, you have a book of your light setup and how you have it. Each light temperature, distances, ratios. You have a big list of everything that you're doing, just like a first AC would have a big list of everything you're doing in the camera as well. And a combination of both those things is what gives you, the ability to reproduce. Ready for the last take?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. You Gucci?
You're gonna lose it online for a minute because Fernando's
Yes, we are gonna lose. We are gonna lose the audio one last time online before we wrap up. Hopefully, it's the last shot, and then we can.
You'll just get to see Annalise's face. Maybe we'll do a lip reading video of it after.
Annalisa lip reading.
If you guys want to submit lip reading videos of this part of it, feel free.
Sal loves us. Alrighty. We're about to go for a final take. Just for her. Yeah, you're good with your hoodie, but I still need you in there for eyeline and reference. Alrighty. This time, I'm gonna need you to yell loud. Okay? Good. I know you do. All right. Then we are going to roll in camera. And.
Quiet on the set!
Perfect. And whenever you're ready.
So what's good? What's the deal? You caking on anybody?
Caking.
You talking to any dudes?
Oh, no. Not really, Bobo. I mean, I meant to say Bobo.
No, it's good. It's fine. I like Bobo. Makes you feel like a man. At least when you say it.
Cool.
And that's a cut.
Turn your lap back up.
Final thing before we cut. Let's get you both in there.
Should.
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. You're good. Right there. Actually, this matters. Stay there. Stay there.
Fernando.
I know, right? We are going to get MOS. We're going to get the ambient tone. I want like a good chunk of audio because then I'm picking it off of the off of the takes.
Let's end the live stream first.
You want to land the last front, but then it's going to change. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let's end it.
Why would it change?
Oh, just the live stream.
Everybody's watching online. They're not going to be able to hear this.
Yeah, you're gonna be able to hear.
So,
All right.
guys that are watching online, you probably don't want to hear silence of us recording the audio. Thanks for watching. We're going to be live for a second scene from Annalise's play at 3 o'clock on Facebook, Adorama's Facebook. So check that out. Fernando will still have a good beard. And
Maybe
we're going to be on.
I won't.
Tomorrow I'm going to be, and Seth, we're going to be on Photo Brigade. So if you guys don't know about that, they can come see it here too, right? It's like a live thing. Come to Adorama Friday. We're going to talk about crazy stuff.
Podcast.
It's a live podcast, so you guys should follow Photo Brigade. It's at 10. I'm at 10. Seth's at 11, so come at 11. It's going to be better.
Next week's OnSet.
Oh, next week on set, we're going to do advertising photography, I think. So if you're into photography, or even if you're not, it's basically going to mostly be about how to shoot to a layout. So it'll talk about lighting and kind of framing and working with the layout. So even if it's for video, it could be similar. When's your next thing? The critique is on this Tuesday coming up. If you guys are stills photographers or not, go out and take pictures right now. We do a critique maybe once a month or so. This Tuesday is the critique. Go to adorama.com/events to sign up for that if you want. You can submit photos and we'll talk about them. We'll have a discussion. When's your next thing? Monday of this week coming up, which is the 18th, your Instagram thing, right? There's so much we don't know about that. Okay, but Monday night?
Monday, 6 p.m.
Monday at 6 p.m. If you're in New York City, this does not stream. So if you guys are like, I don't know, let's say you're in California right now and you're watching this online, get a plane ticket. Come see Seth. He's going to do a mixing together. Oh, this is going to be an awesome one. He's going to basically, Seth is going to take all kinds of random lights and put them together to show you guys how you can mix stuff together. Flash, LEDs, tungsten lights, bring lights and he'll use them. Whatever, flashlights, whatever. He's going to mix all the light together to show you guys how to work with mixer. Okay, so yeah, come on Monday. That's going to be awesome.
And in the next week or two, we're going to release the new episode of Film Form as well.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in more filmmaking stuff, Dave and myself are releasing the next episode of our show Film Form, where we basically shoot a scene and then talk about it.
Yeah, so I'll go a little more in depth. Also, if you guys are watching this video after the fact, because if you write it in the chat now, I won't see it. Write in the comments if you want to see any more of this expanded into the next year. We're going to change this up a little bit. So if you want to see more of something or less of other things, don't say less, Daniel. Come on now.
Please don't say less.
Yes. Hold on.
Is this on your Facebook page?
It'll be on. This is on YouTube right now. Facebook at 3 o'clock.
Yes.
So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week.
You're doing the scan at 3, right? Or no?
Yes.